Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and we just finished our first stream of Triangle Strategy. I'm going to give you guys my first impressions, kind of what I'm thinking about the game, show you kind of some of the mechanics that are actually different from the original demo. There's been two demo releases. One was the first 3 chapters, and the other one was a demo released a while ago. Let's go ahead and dig in. So first off, before we go anywhere with this game, y'all gotta know, if you're playing this game, you are buckling up for a long ass story. We literally streamed for 4 hours yesterday. I got through 2 battles and I got through 2 side battles. So, you know, there is a ton of dialogue. It is a very dialogue and story rich game. Now, the flip side of this, though, I think a lot of people might get like, oh, about that. But the flip side of this is that there is good voice acting. There is good English voice acting. There's really good, amazing writing. I was quite impressed by a voice actor who voices a character named Dragon that was actually able to resemble a drunk voice and like drunk person. Like, I actually could see that the character was drunk in the game, and it really just, it impressed me overall. Now, it was a little bit drawing in terms of the fact that, you know, it took a while for the story really to get going, and it really dives into that political intrigue really fast. And it really just becomes, at some point, you kind of find yourself being like, I really need a battle here. But I think once you get past the introduction and kind of get to where I'm at right now, you tend to see a lot of side content, you tend to see a lot of missions, and you do have options to experience content whenever you would like. Now, this is going to be, of course, my first 4 hours with the game. And you can see here I have a couple places on the map. You basically have to choose which continent you go to, involving kind of the voting system that they have in place in the game, where you need to convince allies, you need to find kind of hidden texts in the game. And so we did end up going to the desert nation first. And once we really kind of got into the game and we unlocked things, you can see here we have our roster going. We have our encampment option, which is a really fun, it reminds me a lot of Xenogears actually, where you can kind of run around here. And this is the first real difference I found compared to the original demo that I had played. You have options to do optional battles in the tavern. We are playing on hard mode, and I can tell you the difficulty of these battles is actually really high, and combat itself actually requires a lot more focus and thought than a lot of other tactical games that you played, even more than Final Fantasy Tactics. You know, there's less job selection, and there's much more like thinking almost in terms of like positioning is the most important thing. So playing on hard, we actually lost on the first mission, and every kind of mission after that was like okay, we need to position here, we need to position there. They don't punish you for losing, so you don't permadeath characters. I'm assuming you may get access to permadeath later on, but it was overall just a great experience. And even if you're losing, there's incentive to keep pushing and trying to win the mission, because even if you lose, your EXP carries over to your next attempt. So, for example, I did the second mission and I was able to clear it with 3 units remaining, where I think a lot of players, their first gut reaction is to immediately quit the game if a character dies, and they do make it really hard to reset the game or reset a battle. So there is kind of like, they do force you in a way, even if you're losing, to finish out the battle, get EXP for your units, and then try again from a kind of better position. Now, another system that I was not aware of from the original demos, they have a blacksmith and they have a trader here. So the blacksmith is basically how you gain access to your sort of class exclusive kind of upgrades, and this is going to be like basic stat upgrades. So with materials and with gold, you're going to invest in potentially attack. For example, I wanted Serenoa to get more defense and HP, to be a little tankier. And then you can see here that as his weapon rank goes up, You are going to be able to unlock different areas and different things and abilities, and you are going to be able to get something called a weapon art. And I'm hoping there's a ton of characters to recruit here, because it looks like the roster is just chock full. Now, you do have class promotion, and it's unclear to me right now when you want to class promote and when the best time to class promote is. You obviously need to be level 10 first. The appearance of the characters changes, which is really cool. You can see here Sarah Noah looks really awesome. The horse dude gets a little bit more regal. Benedict gets a better robe. They actually look significantly cooler when they do get their upgrades, except for maybe this hot character. This hot girl does not get much, and neither does Eridor here. But some of them get significant changes. Questions people had were like whether it is a bad thing to class up your character early, because they do get stat improvements. Other questions people had were if there were split branches in the classes. I haven't seen anything like that yet, and I don't know if it's bad to promote early. I have no idea right now at this point. I'm just really excited for everything it has to offer. And one of the things I was most excited for that I actually didn't know or plan for is an ability called Quietus. Now, Quietus is very similar to a lot of tactical games that have released recently, where you get one ability as kind of like a omniscient tactical planner, right? So in my case, I bought Restore first. So once per battle, I'm going to be able to recover an ally's HP by 50%, heal their status ailments, restore their lowered stats to normal, and that's going to require 1 Quietus point. Now, I could do something like in tandem to move an ally's turn to directly after your own, and that would also work. So the fact that you have other things that you can consider and plan for outside of just your characters is very reminiscent of Heroes of Might and Magic almost, where like you're a commander and you have things that you can do to your team, whether it's cast magic or support the party in a certain way. I just really love the idea of this, and this is something that Tactics has never had, War of the Visions doesn't really have, and it's one of those things that lends itself to kind of this tactical gameplay. And you know what you get, how you unlock these is you use kudos. And how you get kudos is you either have to do back attacks, you have to do pincer attacks, you have to ambush with your allies, and you get more of these by playing tactically. So when you're playing on hard, you're going to get access to more of these if you are playing more tactically. And it's just wonderful. It's a great reward. It rewards you for playing smart, for playing well, and I love it. I think it's an amazing addition to the game, and right now, where I'm at in the game is I have done so much story, and I'm still in the middle of the story, that I am thirsting really hard for more combat. Like, I want them to throw combat at me. I want them to give it to me. I'm like, give me a bunch of combat, please. Because every time I enter into combat, it is rewarding as a player. It is a rewarding experience. You feel good doing it. Now, you do get your ass kicked sometimes, but you learn, you can gain more strategies. Status ailments are really important. Understanding weaknesses, positioning. Again, positioning is so important in this game because the enemy AI is actually intelligent, which is something I think a lot of tactical games aren't used to. They're actually, moving into position, attacking you from behind, chaining with other allies. So you need to be thinking, how am I going to block off this path of enemies? How am I going to stop them from getting behind me? What direction my character is going to face is probably the most important question you could actually ask in this game, because if you face the wrong direction, you're absolutely going to get obliterated because back attacks are mandatory critical hits. Like, there's so many factors to consider with positioning that it just really changes the whole game. and I'm loving it so far. I am excited to stream this. I'm excited to play this. I'm going to be playing it all weekend. It's going to be the best birthday weekend ever. And I hope to see you guys on stream. We had a great turnout tonight. We unfortunately had some internet issues, which are going to be fixed in a couple hours here when Comcast comes out. I just can't wait. It's going to be so great. So that's kind of my first impressions. I'll do a full-fledged review once I'm further in the game. But thank you so much, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.